think anybody will tell you that if you decide when you're very young what you want to do with your life, it's a very positive thing. And I always tell young people that at my clinics, that try to decide what you want to do with your life by the time you're in high school or by the end of high school. For me, when I was 12 years old, in front of the projects that I grew up in the South Bronx, in the Melrose projects, I was with my best friend at the time, Marvin Matei. We were looking out the window. I lived on the 12th floor, he lived on the 9th floor. We were just playing around cards or whatever, and we hear a commotion. They start building a stage in front of across the street on the corner, East 153rd Street and Cortlandt Avenue. I always remember this. So little by little, we see the crowd gathering, and basically it was the Parks Department was going to sponsor a free concert. The free concert was Machito and the Afro-Cubans, the orchestra that basically invented Afro-Cuban jazz in New York City in 1939 under Mario Balzar's musical direction. Ricardo Rey and Bobby Cruz, this really powerhouse salsa band that was making waves on the scene. Ricardo had graduated from the Juilliard School of Music, was a tremendous pianist, and Bobby was a singer, and the Tito Puente Orchestra. So first thing we hear is Ricardo Rey's orchestra, and Doc Cheatham, the famous jazz trumpet player from New Orleans, was playing trumpet in his band. Fantastic. But it was a combo, basically what we call in Cuban music conjuntos, just two or three trumpets. Then the Machito Orchestra comes on. 5 saxophones, 4 trumpets, full rhythm section. I mean, it's ridiculous. But then Tito Puente comes on, and the first thing that he does is vamos rumbero que la rumba ya va a empezar, vamos timbero que la rumba ya va a empezar. So I tell Mama, man, we got to go down there. So we run down the stairs, trying to get through the crowd. We finally get to the front of the stage when Tito points to the saxophones, and they stand up. Amazing. Then the whole point of the tune is it leads it to this explosive timbala solo that he takes, and he just floors the crowd. Now, mind you, he had written that song in 1955. This was in the early 70s. So amazing. And from that moment I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Now, at that time, I was just an enthusiast, and I was just learning about jazz through all the TV shows, the cartoons at the time. My generation was the last generation to see jazz on TV. And radio in New York City was at its prime. Incredible FM radio stations playing progressive rock. That's how I learned about Miles Davis and Bitches Brew, listening to WNEW, the progressive FM rock station. I learned who John McLaughlin and the Mahavishnu Orchestra was, and I got exposed to Billy Cobham, who was a big influence in my life. It was just an amazing time period to grow up in. So, although we had all this negative stuff happening, we had all this positive stuff, the music.